Jason Leah back here again, and today we're going to be talking about King Kong 1933. The film was directed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack and tells the story of a young girl named Anne Darrow who gets casted in a new film by Carl Denham in which he is taking her and a bunch of ship crew members to a mysterious island called Skull Island. Now, this island was only told through legends and stories, and so nobody really knows how true this island is and what it might inhabit in there. But once they do arrive in the island, they come across a few natives in which they do not get along with. And in the process, the natives take Anne Darrow to their god, King Kong, in which he takes a liking of her and takes her into the jungles. All around that, the crew members are trying to go into the jungles to try and find Anne Darrow while King Kong is fighting off monsters and doing what he can to protect the girl. And we know the ending of the film. He unfortunately gets captured, taken to New York, and then gets shot down by a bunch of airplanes on top of the Empire State Building. It was an iconic film at the time, and it still is an iconic film today. King Kong 1933 was, in my opinion, probably the true first blockbuster in terms of high concept ideas and box office performances. Sure, back then this movie had no chance of reaching $100 million, but it did garner so much publicity and is still being played over the years today and is still being recognized as one of the greatest films of all time. And after watching it for the first time a while ago and looking up information about it for this review, I could see why. The special effects in this film, the stop motion and everything, were all revolutionary at the time. While you can tell certain effects are going to be dated because of what they had to work with back then, I think for the most part they were able to convey enough emotion for you to get behind the fakery of the designs of dinosaurs and King Kong himself. And what's also impressive is how they use both stop motion animations for the wide shots, but also use a little bit of animatronics to make it seem like King Kong is actually there. Though I will say the animatronic is probably the most outdated part because it just looks so silly. While the stop motion, wow, does look stop motion, has enough detail in it to make you believe it's actually there, and it's able to convey enough emotion for you to care about King Kong and for you to get afraid of the actual dinosaurs in the jungle. Skull Island actually feels like a dangerous place to be in, and that is due to the production design and costume design of the entire movie. It just feels very much lived in, especially in New York. While I do prefer Peter Jackson's take on the titular character, I believe that this film was a great point in cinema in which we're able to see giant monsters on the screen for the first time. And it was able to do that while also conveying a lot of drama within such a big story. And that's why that ending worked so well. The fact that you're able to care about King Kong and that you feel bad for when he eventually gets shot down, it was something that you rarely see in movies even back then. And so that iconic image of Kong on top of the Empire State Building left an impact. And overall, I just absolutely love this film. Some of the characters were pretty good. I really enjoyed Carl Denham's character here, portrayed by I forgot the first name, but I know it's Armstrong. Let me see for a minute. It is Yeah, Robert Armstrong, portrayed by Robert Armstrong. He was great. He's my favorite character in the entire film. And Jack Driscoll, who is a little bit changed up in Peter Jackson's take, is also a really good character here and goes through a significant arc. The only character that I don't find that likable is unfortunately Andero. I feel like aside from the beginning on having a romance with Jack Driscoll, there's really nothing much to her character. And aside from just screaming on top of her lungs and being scared, I don't think they were able to do enough with her character. And I feel like that's something that Peter Jackson improved a lot more on in his take. Now I'm going to talk about Peter Jackson's film in a separate video, in a separate review. This is just my personal opinions of what I think was done better in which movie. But other than that, I absolutely loved King Kong 1933, and I thought it was a great film with great revolutionary special effects for the time. While it was always going to feel dated, trying to understand the time this movie was made in, if you're able to have that kind of mindset, you would probably appreciate at least the film a little bit more, and just forgive its technical problems it had for over the years it has been played. But still, aside from those technical problems, I still think that this movie holds up extremely well because of the actual story it presented. And so for that reason, I'm going to give King Kong an A. Definitely a must watch and definitely a classic, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.